There's a reason why The Lion King has stuck with you all these years, why it still holds a special place in your heart. And it's not because it's a banger of a movie. It's because it taught you everything you needed to know about life, but subconsciously. So let's boil those lessons down to 3 and bring them to the surface of your consciousness so you can remember them, Simba, and benefit from them for the rest of your life. Number 1, how to deal with challenges. So when Simba is with Nala and Zazu in the graveyard and the hyenas are surrounding them, he tries to deal with the problem by letting go his little tiny baby lion cub roar. And it doesn't scare them, it just makes them cackle at him. This is like you trying to deal with a challenge with your individual small self in this giant alien universe. It's using your willpower, trying to do everything yourself. And it's laughable in comparison to the power that actually comes along when Mufasa does. Mufasa is the archetypal substitution for God. Just like we view our parents as gods when we're children, Mufasa represents this infinite power of the universe, and when he comes along, he lets go an actual lion roar that contains infinitely more power and effortlessly swipes the hyenas out of the way. When we surrender our individual selves and ask a greater energy, whether it's God or the universe, to come in and help us, we sync up with that greater wave. Instead of being like a little squirt gun onto a grease fire, we're now part of the bigger wave. There's a bigger energy lifting us up, helping us, assisting us, and allows us to overcome those challenges with ease. Number 2, how to deal with trauma. A prominent psychologist recently told a story about his client whose daughter watched The Lion King up until the point when, spoiler alert, Mufasa dies. At which point she burst into tears, understandably, left the room crying, and never came back to finish the movie. So her perception of The Lion King is a story where the hero's father dies, and that's it. Cut to black. It's just a traumatic story of loss. So she'll never see the part where Simba meets Timon and Pumbaa, and Hakuna Matata, and the return to Pride Rock. And that journey of Simba facing his pain, leading to meaning and lessons and healing. And so when we go through a trauma, there's part of us that wants to bail out and just check out. But unfortunately, that leads to a state of psychological and emotional fracturing that keeps us stuck in place. But if we're willing to face it and feel it when we're ready with the appropriate help, we can also complete our own cycle of finding that meaning, those lessons, and eventually allow it to lead to healing despite the difficulty. Number 3, how to deal with change. Early on in the movie, we hear about the circle of life and death and replenishment. It's all a bit heavy thematically for a children's movie, and yet we see this play out over the course of the movie. We see Simba go into a state of despair, of feeling lost, and the weight of his grief can be unimaginably heavy when he's in it, and yet, as he's invited by Mufasa to remember who he is, he's able to embrace that change, that circle of life, instead of resisting it, to step into the new roles that are being asked of him as those changes occur, so that he can respect and honor the carefree nature of the earlier phases of his life, but still step into the responsibilities and roles that are being asked of him as those changes unfold. So I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to give it a rewatch. Just make sure it's the original, not the, we don't talk about the other one. Enjoy that, see the lessons deeply in that, carry them consciously with you into your life, and have a great day.